I'd like to say welcome to Dan. He's a student with us at the college studying for the SQE, and today he's going to share his experiences with us. Welcome, Dan. Firstly, could you tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
Thanks, Alice. So I'm Dan. I studied the LLB law for my undergraduate at the University of Cumbria between 2013 and 16. I graduated with a first class, and since then I've worked various roles at Citizens Advice in Carlisle and Eden, and I've covered topics including specialist money advice, housing rights for ex-offenders, and as a welfare benefits advisor. So currently I'm an advice supervisor, and in this role I support our team with the practicalities of our advice session. I oversee ensuring that we're giving accurate and good quality advice to those that need us. I'm particularly interested in family law and social welfare law, including welfare benefits, housing and employment.
Okay, thank you. So could you tell me firstly why you chose to take the SQE route to qualification?
Yes, so I chose the SQE route because I did not want a traditional training contract, meaning that the LPC was not a suitable option for me. So whilst I do want to qualify as a solicitor, I've loved the job that I'm currently in and didn't want to leave it. I work for Citizens Advice, and that's in the third sector, and a training contract with my particular employer was not an option. So the SQE route has meant that I have the opportunity of becoming a solicitor, whilst also having my existing experience count as qualifying work experience.
And why did you choose to study with us at the College of Legal Practice?
So I chose the College of Legal Practice for three reasons. First was that it was affordable with postgraduate funding from student finance. The College of Legal Practice has a master's course, which I'm enrolled on, and that costs £6,900. And that means that my student loan covers both the tuition and the SQE fees for me. Second, I needed to study online so that I could work flexibly alongside my full-time job. And third, I wanted to make sure I was fully supported in my studies and had access to a tutor to help me keep on track for pastoral support along the way. And so far, the college has been brilliant and has definitely lived up to the expectations that I had. I have regular supervision sessions as well as group sessions to keep me on track with the online studies.
That's great. So could you tell me a little bit more about how you're finding the experiences of studying so far for the SQE?
Yeah, I really like the way the course content is spread out each week. So it provides a broad overview of the different practice areas that you need to study for the SQE. And I personally find this works well for me, as if I was studying just one topic at a time, I'd find that quite exhausting. And the variety means that you can constantly change and look at each topic as it comes up. I've also enjoyed studying practice areas that I haven't covered in my professional experience so far, including business law and criminal law, for example.
Okay, that's great. But you are working full time as well as studying. So how are you fitting your learning in alongside working?
That's right. And I would say it is very tough. So preparing for the SQE is intense, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. So I'm finding it to be quite a fine balance to make sure that I'm managing to keep on track with studies, but also spending an adequate amount of time on the course content. And I would say the college have been great in supporting on this. So they set a calendar which shows all of the work that needs to be completed that week. So for example, I currently study 7 subunits a week, and the college recommend a structure on what days I might do each subunit. But so long as that work is completed by the Sunday, then it's entirely flexible to my needs and my own time commitments.
That's great. So lastly, what advice would you give to people who are considering taking the SQE?
So my advice would be first to consider the time commitments. Preparing for the SQE is a huge undertaking. Make sure that you consider whether you can manage alongside other commitments that you have, and choose to prepare for the SQE at a time that is right for you in your circumstances as they are at the time. And if you're working, I would recommend taking a part-time route to make sure that you have adequate time to prepare. Second, consider the costs. So always remember that the SQE exam fees are separate to any course preparation fees. And if cost is likely to be a difficulty for you, then I would recommend considering a master's course that qualifies for student finance. Third, consider your qualifying work experience. So as well as passing the SQE, you'll also need to have 2 years qualifying work experience to be admitted as a solicitor. So make sure you have a plan on how you'll gain that experience along the way. And finally, I would say practice makes perfect. There's a lot of content to cover to successfully prepare to take the SQE exams. So make sure you work into your study time, plenty of time to revise and revisit any materials. This is really not an exam you can cram for at the last minute, so do make sure you use your time effectively and plan accordingly.
Thanks, Dan. That's great. I hope we all found that helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alice.